Hi and welcome to today's Speaking for School Industry Spotlight Talk. I'm Sarah, your host, and we're delighted that you're here with us today. You're going to be hearing from some industry insiders today, and an industry insider is someone who's currently working in the industry, living out the experiences that come with building a career. We have an hour for this session, and it will include a panel with our speakers before moving into a time of Q&A. Questions for our speakers can be submitted under the video that you see. If you scroll down a little bit on your screen, you can find the box there. Please do put some questions in. We encourage all of your questions, and we'll get them over to our speakers as well. You can also interact with today's talk via our quiz or our poll that we have on the page as well. If you scroll down, we'd like to see the answers there too. Any issues you have during this talk, please let us know via the Q&A box. We do our best to support you and help you out there. So today we're excited to welcome a panel of women from the Mindera UK Foundation who are with us to share their experiences as women in tech. We'll learn more about their role shortly and hear more about the work Mindera do. So first we're going to introduce Sally, who will tell us more. So welcome in, Sally. Hi.
Hi everybody. Hello. Hi.
Hi. Over to you.
Thank you very much. So I'm Sally. I've worked at Mindera for 5 years, and I'm a product owner. I haven't always been a product owner, but we'll go into more about that later. I just want to introduce you to the company. So Mindera is an international software consultancy, and we've been going for 10 years. We've just turned 10. So there's been parties and celebrations across over 8 countries, which is where we've got offices. And we have, the company is based around lots of engineers, testers, product people, and we work in lots of different sectors. So a few examples of those sectors, high-end fashion like Burberry. So that's one of our clients. We work with finance, and we have gaming as well. We've worked with companies like Lego, 2K. And yeah, we also have an education sphere. So we do tech camps. We have a school in Portugal, and we have a foundation. And the foundation helps people in need in the UK in lots of different ways. And that's just growing and growing, which is why we're here to speak to you today. Yeah, that's a little intro to the company. And sorry, Sarah. I was just going to introduce you to a few people that are going to be speaking today. So we've got a couple of developers. So we've got Sarisha, who's a developer, and Amy as well. She came through the Code Academy, and now she's a developer at Mindera. And Tabby is she works in the operations team and for recruitment. And myself. We're going to talk to you about all the different things about Mindera.
Hey team, good to see you all. Welcome. Nice to have you all on the call. So yeah, we had a little bit about Mindera, but now it's time to hear about you. So it'd be great if you could walk us through your career journey up into your current role now, and what moments have been big for you, what moments have kind of like changed the pivot of what you're doing. I'm gonna go with Sarisha first, if that's okay.
Hello everybody. Myself, Sirisha. I'm having around 10 plus years of experience as a development. My technical journey started as a full stack developer, Angular front end and PHP back end. PHP is the one I have chosen in my college project. So I've started with that development. So then I've gained very valuable experience on front end technologies. It's a lot of experience. Still, I am using that experience overall my career. So but I found PHP as limiting. So then my curiosity led to explore more versatile technologies like Java. So then I've shifted to Java, and where it opened up more opportunities for more innovation. I've also realized the importance of learning and adapting to the new technologies. That is why I always try to not tend to not move or else move from the projects that given me more growth for more career opportunities and to learn more new skills, which eventually led to my current role. So I can say one of my standout moment in my career is working on one of the project, which is introducing 5G new technology in Singapore. That in that project I was involved I played a key role from first to end. That project pushed my boundaries. It's a lot. I've gained a lot of confidence in my abilities that I will be able to tackle any complex challenges in that project. It also marked me the introduction to the DevOps world. So that is one of the thing. And another milestone I can say, it's the current projects itself. It allowed me to expand my knowledge and dive into the cloud technologies, and most recently the AI. So I've always been the person to add my insights. Either it would be a smaller scope or broader scope. If that profits the project and the clients or the customers in a positive way, I always try to give my inputs. That is me. I always try to work individually or work with the team. So each step in my career is all a learning experience. So I will keep on learning, growing, and making impact in the future. Thank you. Over to Emily.
Yeah, over to you.
Okay, thanks. Hello, everyone. So first, just to give you some context, when I finished secondary school, I was just about to turn 18, and that's probably over 10 years ago now, which is a bit scary. But I'll be honest, I think when I was in school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. Um, one of my favorite subjects was art, so I ended up going on to study fashion at university. And in hindsight, it was a really amazing experience. Like, I loved being able to be super creative, and it taught me a lot of things about myself, about managing projects, about managing workloads, that kind of thing, which are all really important skills. But ultimately, by the time I was ready to graduate, I knew that wasn't what I wanted to do. And even though I passed the course, I still felt like I had failed. And that's a really scary place to be, especially when you spent a good chunk of time on money, like on a degree, and it feels like everyone around you is super happy to be graduating. You know, they're applying for grad jobs, moving to new places, and you're not in the same place. So for a while, I took up my retail job. I just moved into that full time while I figured out what I wanted to do. And it's really important to know, when people say figuring it out and it took some time, figuring it out and getting there was such a gradual process. I think a lot of time people say it and it sounds like it happened overnight, which definitely wasn't the case for me. You know, it really did take some time. But yeah, I just started to focus on the things that I really did enjoy at university, which were using things like Photoshop, Illustrator. We built a mini website using Wix. So I started freelancing, creating mock-ups. I worked with a startup by freelancing and building websites on Squarespace, and that's how I realized that I actually really enjoyed using code and I wanted to learn more. So yeah, I started doing some online courses, and that's how I came to find Mindera as well, is when I was searching for workshops and that kind of thing. And Mindera were running a taster session about JavaScript. So I joined that, and on the back of that, they were running the Code Academy, which was like a 16-week front-end development course. And I'd say that was a pivotal moment because, one, I recognized that something needed to change, and also it was an accessible option for me. Whereas before, a lot of courses I was looking at were really expensive and full-time, and there's no way that you could support yourself during the course. So yeah, that was definitely a pivotal moment, which I'm so thankful for. And following that course, I was offered an apprenticeship with Mindera for a Women in Tech initiative, which I've just completed earlier this year, which brings me to where I am now, working full-time as a developer. So yeah, I think just know that it's okay to try something, and it's okay to change your mind too. Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. And I really like that you mentioned about the gradual process as well, because that's something that even I need to hear. So thank you. But yes, Tavi as well. Would you like to share your career journey?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. So I studied English literature and theatre at the University of Sheffield. And after completing my degree, I just knew I wanted to work in London. I didn't know really what I wanted to do. It's one of those classic things. If you study English, people say, oh, you're going to become a teacher. And I knew I didn't want to do that, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted. So I did the kind of usual process where I started just having a look around online. I put my CV to a recruitment agency, and it was a sales job that I think I applied for. I think I was a student at the time, didn't have very much money, and the idea of working in sales with the high earning potential was something that really interested me, or was attractive to me at the time. So that's why I was looking in that kind of area. And then the recruitment agency that I applied to, I had a screening call with them for the very first step, where they were sharing more about the opportunity that I applied for. And they actually said, would you ever consider working for us? We're just opening an office in London. We're looking for IT recruiters. And I didn't really know anything about recruitment. I knew it was very similar to a sales job. So I said, yeah, sounds really good. I learned, they told me more about the role and what it involved. And yeah, I thought that it could be a good opportunity. So I did that. But with anything, the high reward that comes through a job like that comes with high risk. And I learned that highly competitive, fast-paced, KPI-driven environment just wasn't sustainable for me personally in the long run. Especially since the majority of the salary was commission-based, it's just not the most stable kind of job for buying a house or sort of settling down. So I knew that after a few years of working in an IT recruitment agency, that I needed to make quite a strategic move and eventually make my way towards an internal in-house recruitment role. So that's really what I did. I needed that stability. So I moved into a talent partner role, which was working through an agency, but actually on site as a recruitment partner, working with those companies actually, in their offices. So that kind of gave me a taste for an internal recruitment role. And it is definitely something that I enjoyed at the time. So then I moved out of London to Leicestershire, found Mindera, and I've been in an in-house recruiter position at Mindera for the past 6.5 years. So I think my career was sort of strategic, where I wanted to go in the long run, but it also happened very organically as well at the same time. So I think it's just important to remember that careers aren't always completely laid out for us. And yeah, there are plans that you can have in place. And I think if you just, it does happen organically to get your way there sometimes as well.
Amazing, thank you so much. And also Sally as well, would you like to share a little bit more about your journey?
Yeah, sure. Mine was not strategic. So when I was 16, I was at college and I dropped out of college. I dropped out of college because I wanted to go and become a ski instructor, and I had the opportunity at the time. So I did that. It was something that I wanted to do when I was a kid, forever. I just wanted to teach people to ski. So I did it. I did it for quite a couple of years, and then I realized that it didn't pay very well. So I decided that I needed a little bit more of an income. So I went into an admin role, which was in the automotive industry. So I worked a lot with cars, and then I figured out that I was really good at testing the software that I was using, and somebody gave me the opportunity to become a tester within that company. So that was a pivotal moment for me for becoming a person in tech, because somebody gave me that opportunity, and I think that's really, really important to point out, that we need those people to support us. But yeah, so I became a software tester, and I went and got certified, which is basically I did a course and an exam, and I did that privately. It's called ISTQB, and it's a software testing course that a lot of companies recognise, and some require that you take the test basically to prove that you can do it for the job. Not always, like I was a tester before I had that certification, but yeah, it helped with my next job. The next role I got was in Leicester. I'm a Leicester girl, born and bred, so it was home to me. And yeah, I went to a different company, and it was fun, and it was a really nice culture. Tech is a really good culture. And eventually I decided that I wanted to move forward and progress and move into a different type of tech industry. So I moved to Mindera, which is a consultancy, and working with lots of different tech. So I was able to kind of broaden my horizons. And eventually, I naturally worked my way into a product owner role. So I kind of started doing the job naturally whilst I was testing. And again, somebody gave me the opportunity and said, you should do this role. And I basically was like, I want to do that. It's really cool. And it's something that will progress me with income as well. It's really important to note that. I don't think we should not talk about how, the tech jobs give you a great income, because that's a really good incentive to get into tech. So then I became a product owner, and I worked with a high-end fashion company called Net-a-Porter, however you want to pronounce it. I'm from Leicester, so Net-a-Porter is the way. So I became a product owner for them. And then I moved into a delivery lead role, which is very similar to PO. It's more looking after the team. Just Mindera gives you the opportunity to move around into different teams and to different clients, and test out whether you want to do the role. I'm a delivery lead at the moment, but next week I'll be moving back into a product owner role for the same client that I'm on. I've been through a lot of different roles, but they're all very similar and they all kind of link with each other. But some pivotal moments in my career have been people giving me opportunities and pushing me to do them. And I think that's really important, to be able to support each other, and have women and men support you and push you into different opportunities.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I like how everyone's journey has had like different kind of pathways, and it hasn't just been like a straight pathway. It's been different kind of choices made. So I love the kind of variety in that. Sticking with you, Sally, for this next question, you mentioned about the teams in Mindera. What are the different roles out there in the tech industry that you can get into? What are some of the roles that we can share?
I can talk about that. So Tabby is also going to speak about it as well in a minute when she speaks about the qualifications in the tech industry. But there's loads of different roles. As I've just mentioned, I've been a QA, which is a quality assurance software tester. You could be a QAE, which is more of the code inside of testing. Developers, DevOps. You can become a product owner, basically looking after the team and helping with the strategical process of the product, making the product better, improving things. Project management is very similar. What else? There's business analyst. We've got quite a few data analyst people. And what else have we got? We've got people in operations team that look after everybody, and they're really, really important as well. It's not, when we talk about having a career in tech, you don't need to know coding. You don't need, not necessarily. If that's something that you don't want to do, it doesn't mean you can't have a career in tech. There's so many different opportunities to work in different areas of the business. We have a finance team as well, as all of the cogs that make this operation happen. They need somebody behind them. We have learning developers that help people with mental health, and we have people that help with progressing the career. Loads of different things. But I think Tabby might have more to say on the subject. I might be repeating what I'm going to say, guys.
But let's come to you, Tabby. In terms of those roles that we've heard, there's so many. What kind of qualifications are needed to kind of work in tech? Or, as we just heard as well, we don't really need to know code as such, but what qualifications do we need?
Yeah, I think, no, that was great, Sally. And I think just to touch on that before I head into the qualifications, I think as well as all those different roles that you shared, I think there are some real kind of in-demand job kind of areas as well within tech at the moment. So you've got your cybersecurity stuff, your artificial intelligence, your machine learning, cloud computing, you've got virtual and augmented reality. And then within all those kind of up and coming sectors, you've then got all those roles that Sally shared. So your POs, your software engineers, everything. And I think Really important point that she shared about you don't just have to be a software engineer or developer within tech. There's all kind of roles, which she touched on. So yeah, really important. And I think so about the qualifications, yeah. So you can either go from, have come from that traditional sort of university degree route. So you might do a computer science degree or an IT and business degree. They're quite common to go into tech from there. A lot of people come from like mathematics degrees or physics degrees or engineering degrees as well. So like mechanical engineering, civil engineering, that side of it. So slightly technical, but not necessarily just computing. So yeah, all kind of routes from that traditional way. At Mindera and at quite a lot of companies, you don't have to have a degree as well. So you can be a self-taught developer. So you've got that side of it also. So if you're a self-taught developer, you wouldn't necessarily have any specific qualifications. It might be that you're in a different job and that you're kind of teaching on the side. So if you are a self-taught developer, it's really important that you build up some sort of portfolio so that when you are interviewing with companies, you have something to show. Sometimes it's not just enough to say you're self-taught or rely on their technical tests for the interview process. It's really good to have websites that you've built or tried to build, or maybe an application, or potentially some code repositories that you've got that you can share. So these are really, really good things to help build up that portfolio. So I recommend doing that to anybody that's thinking that route. Both equally important. I think a good thing to say is at Mindera, some of our best software engineers are self-taught. So they haven't come from formal qualification route. So yeah, there's those options. And then I think on the qualifications for the soft skills side of it, really important to have good communication skills, to be able to understand technology and relay that to both a technical audience and non-technical audience. So it's really important to be able to talk about those kind of intricate technical concepts easily, clearly and concisely as well. So yeah, being a really good communicator, I'd say, is definitely a skill set you need. Being an agile person as well, so someone who can problem solve, can adapt easily to change. The industry is ever evolving, ever changing, so someone that can evolve with that is absolutely key. And then I think the third sort of softer skill I would say that's important is just being curious about technology. So someone who gets excited about new tech trends or new tech that's emerging. If you're interested in and love what you do, then you are more likely to be successful in what you do. So yeah, there would be my sort of tips on the soft skills side.
That's really, really helpful. Thank you so much. Very, very practical advice there. So I'm sure people are like jotting down notes furiously as you're speaking. I'm going to come to Sarisha for this question first. So what does working in tech look like then? So that could be in terms of your day-to-day, or that could be maybe the perception that you're behind a desk and you're just typing away, or do you get to be on the move? What does it look like?
Yes, always like working in technology is exciting. It's a mix of like collaboration, problem solving, logical thinking, and a lot of continuous learning. So it's always interesting. Most of the time, we always sit and write the codes and have engaging with the development tools, GitLabs and IntelliJ codes and everything. So I would say like a technical career is totally satisfying and we never get bored. So it's like we always try to come up with new solutions, new ideas, and we try to implement new features, and we try to see whether we need to add any security on the existing features. So together as a team and individual person too. So it's like every day it's interesting and we will do something new. So of course we will never get bored. So the better your skills are, the more satisfying is your job. So we always also try to read the documentations and try to get updated with the technologies, with the online resources availability, so everything. And we often try to have the collaborations within the teams, like around with other developers, with other analysts or designers or testers or the project managers or any other developers from other third party teams. So to just make sure like everybody are aligned and working towards the same goal. I would say like even one more thing is like of course everybody knew like technical career offers some good salaries and great flexibility too. So we can do work from home, maintaining the balance between our professional and personal life. So I can say it's like it's quickly we can grow quickly and we can just have the great flexibility and stay motivated with the constantly changing technologies.
That's awesome. I love the collaboration as well. I think that's really important in the workspace to be a people person and to work with people. So thank you for sharing. I'm going to answer this next question to everyone, I think. It'd be great to hear everyone's answers for this. Why do you think women are underrepresented in the sector? And how have you managed to build a career despite this? So I'll say that again because I tripped over my words. Why do you think women are underrepresented in the sector, and how have you managed to build a career despite this? I'll come to Amy first for this.
Yes. So of course we all knew like again women are underrepresented in technical sector. Like currently we have 30% are 30% from the technical field are women and 70% are men. But I think like everybody thinks like just afraid to get into that technical sector and they all think it's a bit tough, but that is not the case. Women are natural multitaskers, they take great responsibilities and give very good strong results, that is for sure. So just believe in yourself and speak up for yourself and being confident, that will make sure to overcome any obstacles that will come under your way. So even myself, I try to give my inputs in the team. That is how I'm making as a valuable resource in our team. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. And Amy as well. What would be your answer to this question?
Yeah, sure. I think there are still some kind of like long living stereotypes about the tech industry in general. Like we've already spoken about some of the roles. I think especially after the pandemic, a lot more of these are hybrid or remote roles. So it means they're accessible to a lot more people. And as I mentioned before, like my experience with the course and the apprenticeship was a specifically women in tech funded initiative. So I feel like we do have the foundation there for these types of programs that really can like help you break into the industry. Something else as well it's worth mentioning is that women are often parents or caregivers or guardians, that kind of thing. And the tech industry offers really flexible roles as well. Most people in my team, men and women, are parents, or are contractors, maybe working across multiple jobs. It's really flexible and it doesn't the stereotype of you having to be at the desk in the office all day every day isn't true. So yeah, I think there's a really like unrealistic idea about what the tech industry is like still out there. So yeah, hopefully we're breaking some of that down today.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think just hearing your journeys alone, I think, is one great start to that. Tabby, your answer here?
Yeah, sure. So I think it still remains the same sort of thing that we're seeing, is that not enough women are choosing tech careers. So that talent pool is a lot smaller for companies picking people for interview. So there is just a lot more men to choose from. And yeah, so it naturally sort of stems from there, and that's from people's education and the choices that they're making. And I did a bit of research on the reasoning behind, why women are so underrepresented. And I came across something quite interesting, that according to some females working in Silicon Valley in America, which is a notorious kind of tech scene, women are discouraged from pursuing jobs in tech because there is this, what they've coined, programmer tech culture, which is brought in from the college campuses. So they're, we really need to change that narrative that's putting people off kind of feeling accepted and included. So I think we can do that through having more female role models and more advocates for, you know, people really showing women how a career in tech is possible, and that it can be inclusive. So yeah, we just really need to break that sort of stigma that comes from tech being really male dominated, which it is. But the more we can advocate around it and have those female role models, the better chance we have of breaking that. And I think in terms of, you know, recruitment as well, tech recruitment is largely women are largely underrepresented as well. So I think Sarisha mentioned it, but just for me in my career, it's just speaking up, you know, having a voice, saying yes to opportunities that come your way, and just really putting yourself out there to make sure that you know, can be successful in what you do.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's for those people out there who maybe want to give tech a go, but are a bit cautious, a bit shy about it. But everyone has their own USP, their own thing about them. And I think if people are more confident about that, then there'll be definitely more people going for jobs like the ones you have and the ones you've been speaking about today. Sally, would you like to also have an answer for this one? How has it been building a career despite the kind of underrepresentation?
For myself, I've had a lot of support from females, but I know that it's not the same for everybody, and I've seen it myself. Echoing what everybody has just said, really, I think that women face so many barriers, not just in the tech scene, but specifically, as we're talking about that today, it is. And we need to just try and overcome them. And I think the way that we do that is by supporting different charities promoting STEM for women, like Girl Geeks, and there's a charity that's called Girl Who Codes as well. And yeah, we just need to work with young people, basically, like we're doing today, to encourage girls to and introduce them to tech and introduce them to a world that probably hasn't been introduced to them before. It is accessible to you guys, and we will, and there will be people supporting you there, and it is definitely doable. You just need to take the first step.
Absolutely. I'm going to stay with you, Sally, for this next question.
Okay.
How do you approach building and maintaining professional and personal development, and how does Mindera support this?
Okay, so I think it's like really important to have motivation to help yourself. So Mindera is a self-managed organisation. There's nobody doing assessments on us or anything like that. We have to push ourselves to maintain our development. So I think that the best way you can do that is to put time into the topic that you find interesting. Like Sarisha was saying, just pushing yourself and doing a course maybe, and Mindera does support that. So we have access to Udemy, which is loads and loads of courses. So we get that free with our roles. We get a license, so we can do anything we want really. We can even learn how to play the guitar. It doesn't have to necessarily be a tech related course. Because Mindera do promote that kind of thing. It's not necessarily just helping Mindera grow. It's about helping you grow as a person as well. So that's really good. And we do have in-house people called learning developers. So for example, one of my really good friends, Darshak, he's a learning developer, and basically that means that it helps with mental health issues or anything that you have a problem with or you want to talk about, and also to help push you into different roles. If you want to go to a different role, they will help push, like basically get the ball rolling on that. And say you wanted to become a product owner and you're in a QA role, help you push you into the right path to basically do that. So yeah, I think that's a good way. I think it is definitely down to yourself as well. You need to have the motivation, because nobody's going to know that you want to develop unless you say it. So yeah, I think that's important.
That's awesome. It's kind of like what Shree was saying about the continuous learning. Like there's always that opportunity to grow and learn new skills. I think you should learn to play the guitar, Sally. I think that's.
I'm learning.
Oh, you're learning?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I think you should sing alongs in your meeting. That'd be great. Amy, I'm going to come to you for this question. How important is mentorship and community support for career building?
Sure. Okay, so I'll start with saying I think both of these things are vital for development, not just in your career, but as a person as well. I'll speak about mentorship first. The tech industry can often feel very fast-paced. You're constantly learning new information, working on different projects. So one of the benefits I found when I was completing my apprenticeship was that I had a dedicated mentor who was from Mindera and also worked on the same client project as me. And this was really key because it just meant I had someone there who I could go directly to for help or just to sound my ideas off of. And they're not necessarily, one of the main messages they told me was that they're not there just to tell me all the answers. Okay, it's like Sally was saying, you need someone who is going to coach you through things and keeps you curious and knows how to help you develop. It's also really important to know that these people have achieved what you're trying to achieve, because it helps you realize that it is realistic, and it keeps that belief in yourself as well that it's achievable. As we've said, especially seeing women in leadership roles throughout the business and industry. As Tabby mentioned, there's a lot of things, like a lot of jargon that makes things seem a lot more complicated than they actually are. And really what you just need is, you can do anything if you've got enough time. So I really think you just need the time and the space to do that. And that's what a really great mentor will help with. As for community, in a developer role, for example, you're always learning new things, and you might pick something up and it involves something you've never worked on before. It could be like a piece of software or a technology you haven't used. So you really have to learn to be comfortable with not knowing everything. And there's a lot of researching and asking questions. And it's really vital that the people in your community around you have the ability to do the same, to be vulnerable and develop their learning as well. And I think just knowing that you have each other's back and you celebrate each other's mistakes and triumphs, that's been so important. And I think when you have the space to do that well, it's really rewarding and special.
That's nice. You need a nice environment to grow. Yeah, so that's great. Thank you. We have one more question, I think, for this section, as we're speeding through our time. It's going so quick. So much fun being happening right now. So, Sally, I'm going to come to you for this last one. In your opinion, how can educational institutions, so schools and colleges, how can they better prepare students for the working world? And I guess anyone else, if you have like any other answers, you can jump into. But yeah, how can schools and colleges prepare our young people better for the working world?
I think just basically supporting the students in whatever thing they want to do, making it accessible and making people more aware of things that they need to do to access this. Also putting them in touch with different charities or courses or things like that. I think that schools are getting better as well, and I think I can see that as well with inviting us, for example, to do talks around tech. I think it's really important to get the first-hand experience out there to the students, to you guys. So yeah, I think it's just talking about it and making people aware of what is out there, what can be accessed. And also not just talking about coding, the other opportunities that are in tech. Coding is amazing, it's brilliant, and we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the coding, right? But yeah, I think it's just such a massive industry, and it's only getting better and bigger. So yeah, I think just having a really good support network and getting people with first-hand experience to actually speak to the students and guide them through, I think that's really important.
Definitely, I agree. Did anyone else want to add another answer onto that question before we move on to our student Q&A?
Yeah, I'll just say I think Sally summed that up so well. But yeah, definitely just to echo that, I think soft skills are more essential than you think. Just in the way that you build relationships and support each other, and just as we've come together as women today, just to put that into action in your everyday workplace, it's really important.
Thank you so much for answering those questions. We'll move on to a time of student Q&A. We've got some questions coming in from our audience, which is amazing. First one, I think we can do a quick look around for everyone with this one. What's your favourite part of your job? We can start with Tabby for this one.
Cool. I mean, I like working with people. That's why I'm in recruitment. It's a people and operations in Mindera. It's a people job. It's very similar to kind of HR, hiring people for the business. So yeah, I think the people at Mindera are fantastic. Everybody that joins our company has what we call a cultural interview. And it's this kind of really casual chat at the end of the process where we really get to know the person, kind of behind the CV, so to speak, and just about them personally. And I think that we have so many interesting characters that come and join our company. And yeah, it's really the people for me that make the job worthwhile. And yeah, just really enjoy being in Mindera 6.5 years. So yeah, it's going well.
Amazing. Sarisha, how about you? What's your favorite part of your job?
Oh, my favorite part is like all over there when I try to write the code. If a one piece of code doesn't work out, and if I try to find a solution for that, okay, it is my favorite. Okay, it worked. Nice. I can see the result. And then finally, when I try to complete the whole task and if I see the result in live, that is my favorite part. It's like that fruitness will come at that time.
That must be an amazing feeling, like just kind of like fixing that issue and just seeing it all work. So I can definitely see why that would be a good part for you. Amy, how about you? What's your favorite part of your job?
I think like similar, as we're both developers, but definitely building something from scratch is always fun. Yeah, I think seeing a concept, because it's quite a collaborative process with designers and other people in your team. So taking something from concept, so when it's live in production, and then you see the impact it's had on users is really incredible.
Awesome, thank you. And Sally as well. Your favorite part?
Oh gosh, so I've had lots of different roles, but QA, my favorite part of the job was finding bugs. Sorry guys, sorry developers. I know that it's like a bad thing, but it's also a good thing for me. Finding the bugs and then them getting fixed, that's nice, before they go out into the wider world. And as a product person now, I think my favorite part of the job is seeing something from start to finish, and watching the team enjoy releasing it and it going well. Sometimes it doesn't go so well and then we fix it, but most of the time seeing the outcome of what we've worked on really hard for a long time. Sometimes it's quite a long time before something actually gets released. So when for example, like an app update, it's small to you guys, right? But to us, it's big. So yeah, it's really rewarding. And I'd be lying if I didn't say that the main reason I'm at Mindera is because of the people. And it's really important to find a workplace with the right people, because you're with them more than your family. So it's really important to do that. And I love the people that I work with, and they make me want to come to work every day. So that's it.
That's really nice. There was mention of kind of like things maybe going wrong, like finding bugs or like a piece of code not working. There's a question here. When things go wrong, what tips do you have to stay strong? Kind of rhymes. There might be a poet, but I'll stay with you, Sally, and we can maybe whip round again.
Yeah. Sure.
What tips do you have when things don't really go quite well?
So I've been on a team that we with the high-end fashion team as Net-a-Porter, we released an app and it did not go well. Everything crashed. But the main thing that basically fixed it was that everybody came together, and all of the different skills from all of the different parts of the development team came together and fixed it within, I don't know, about 10 minutes. And it was really nice to see everybody just do that. I think the tip is just stay calm. We're not saving lives most of the time. I'm pretty sure that none of our software is saving lives at the moment. There could be software that saves lives, so maybe be a bit more aware of that. But with a high-end fashion app, for example, just stay calm. It's just selling clothes, and the calmer you are, the quicker you'll get it done, and the more fun you'll have fixing it. So, me.
Definitely. How about you, Tabby? What tips would you give someone? If things go not so well.
Yeah, I'm just trying to put myself in like a developer position or a techie person's shoes. But I guess things go wrong in all kind of all roles. But I think specifically, like Sally said, stay calm. I think it's not, it won't be the last time that a mistake happens. If you're in a good culture, a company like Mindera, it's very supportive. It's not one person's fault or anything like that. The whole team comes together and helps fix the issue. So don't worry too much. I think, like Sally said, stay calm, communicate what's happened as quickly, as efficiently as possible. I think, you can always go back and put your feelings aside for a moment and then, address them after. I think just importantly, get it fixed quickly first. But yeah, it's really not the end of the world. Like, don't worry, just breathe, take a moment, and it will all be okay for sure.
Amazing, thank you. I'll come to you, Amy, for this next one. What is the work-life balance like? I guess that means, maybe for you or in Mindera, but what is, I know we mentioned about flexible and working as well. So what is the work-life balance like?
Work-life balance. Okay, so it's partially to do with you, and it's partially to do with the people you have around you. Like Sally mentioned before, we're kind of in a self-organizing company, which is really great because it's again just acknowledging that different people work different ways. So you can really find methods that work for you, whether that be working from home or in the office, or you have all your calls as much as you can in one day, or you spread them out over the week. There's just different approaches that everyone takes. And I think as well, we're quite flexible. Most of us work from laptops or that kind of thing. So a lot of travel geeks in our company, I'd say. And we've got offices all over the world. So yeah, it's really flexible. And I think it's just realistic as well. We're real people. We have real lives. We know that everyone has stuff going on at one point or another, day to day. So yeah, again, it's just supporting each other however we can.
Yeah, that's really, really good. I think that's really key. I think as things evolve and things change, it's nice to know that there's also change happening in the workplace as well. It's awesome. This is a quite specific question. So after doing an entry-level course, e.g. CS50, the Odin project, what would be the next best step into learning how to get into the tech industry? Any tips and tricks for this young person? So they've done an entry-level course. What would be the next best step for them to get into the tech industry?
I'd say get your CV out there, create like a LinkedIn profile, put your course. You could usually find it, and you can add like education, and if it's a known course, you should be able to find it. If not, you can still add it. So create your profile. Also, just get yourself down to any careers fairs that are relevant for what you want to do. And even when you're on LinkedIn, don't be scared to start following companies that you aspire to work for. And actually, you can connect with people who work at those companies. Try and find the recruiters or the HR team, something like that. You can actually send your CV, even if they're not actively hiring. Prospectively send your CV in, because looking after the recruitment at Mindera, I get CVs sent to me every day from people who we haven't got a role for them online, but they send me their CV, we keep it aside, and if we have anything, then we let them know. So yeah, I would definitely try and find the confidence to do that, because it can really pay off.
That's great, thank you. And Sally as well, do you have an answer for this one?
Yeah, so I think that going to meetups is really important. And speaking to people that are already in the tech industry. So, for example, my friend does a meetup in Northampton. If any of you guys are there, just a bit of marketing there. No, it's called NN1, and it's a dev meetup. And I think getting yourself into that environment around other people that have done like a basic computer science course that is really, really important, because you get to know people, you get to know whether their company has some junior roles that you can do, or any kind of entry level jobs. And also they've got the best advice for you, because they've been in the same position as you are right now. So yeah, good luck with that, and get yourself to some meetups and start talking to people.
Amazing, thank you. We're going to end on this question. Time has gone so quick. We're coming to the end of our talk today. We're going to start with Sarisha for this one, but I think everyone can maybe chip in for this last question. But what pieces of advice would you give to any young girls or young women watching this talk, wanting to get into the tech industry, or maybe not really sure about what they want to do for their career? What piece of advice would you give our young women watching?
Okay, so for the young people who wanted to establish in any of the industry, I would advise like whether just think first whether the career that you are choosing is the right one to do. If you wanted to join an ever-changing tech field with new discovery and potential, maybe the tech industry is a yes for you. It's bit challenging, bit hard work, but if you try to learn and adapt, you will thrive for sure. So I can say like in the first day itself, don't feel like you just need to learn everything, you need to know everything at the first day itself. There are lots of resources available to help you along your way. It's like even a strong tech community support is available for you to support. So it's just like the first step. If you just step in, you will be able to climb up for sure. So I would say one more thing is like soft skills. That is also one of the it's totally equally important to communicate, collaborate with the team, building the relationships. I think as Amy mentioned, that is one of the important thing to have. So that it will make you grow faster. And most importantly, like just don't compare yourself with any other, but with any other. Like everybody are unique in your own experience. Some might excel in one, some other in elsewhere. So just don't hesitate to ask for help, or just try to give assistance to any other if it is your specialization. It is all about like gaining knowledge and experience, gathering information until you find your specialization. So just speak up. Please be patient and confident. Believe in yourself. Yeah.
Amazing advice. Thank you, Sarisha. And Amy, how about you? Do you have some advice to give our young women watching?
Yeah, sure. I think for anything, but tech specifically as well, is give it a try. That first call I took with Mindera was an hour, and if in that hour I didn't enjoy myself or I didn't like it, it's not much time gone, and it might lead you to something else. Definitely as well, like the amazing thing about coding is because everything's changing all the time, there's quite a good like number of opportunities for you to just jump straight in, because often like new software will be released and we have to learn things all over again. And but it's good because it makes gaps in the market for new people to join. And a lot of the tools like VS Code that we use, definitely just have a look at it, and it's free to download. You can start playing about with it. And yeah, you can literally, I just love it because it's like how things work, and you can literally build the world you want it to be part of. So I'd say definitely give it a shot, and if it's not for you, then try something else.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time today. Unfortunately, we've come to the end of our time today. Thank you all for being here and sharing with us. We've had loads of questions coming in. Our audience have been really excited to hear from you. So we really appreciate you being here. Hopefully we get to speak to you again and have some more tips and tricks from you. But for now, it is goodbye.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Awesome. Okay, so right before we finish, we have some time for some feedback. So please do scan the QR code. Let us know how you found today, what we can improve, what you would like to hear more of. I'm going to leave the screen just a little bit of time just for you to have this feedback time. I'll be gone for about 2 minutes, but please stay tuned and fill this up for us. Be back shortly. Okay, that is all we have time for today. If you didn't get a chance to fill out the feedback, there'll be an email going around with a link, and you can do it that way as well. It would be great to hear from you still, so please do look out for that. Just before we go today, here are some more QR codes for you to get involved with. We have a book club. Please join us and read along with us with our book club there. We also have work experience opportunities. You can see the different ones we have with different partners and different companies on there. Get involved and get some experience for your CV. We also do these talks in-house, in schools. So if you'd like a talk in your school, please do get involved there and let us know how we can best help you out with that. And also this talk will be on our online library, along with all the previous ones we've done in the past. You can have a watch back of those there. It's great to have you here with us. Hope to see you again for another Industry Spotlight talk. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.